the conspiratorial bunch might.
Okay, now recording.
Camera and action!
Hello and welcome to the Cybernews weekly podcast. Today in the mail, we have a massive data breach at a large background check company, another dose of weird and vague ramblings by Sam Altman, and a trip back in time with the Tamagotchis, now connected to the web. My name is Ginteras. I am a senior journalist here at Cybernews. We have Niv Ansel with us.
Hello.
Another journalist here, and our editor-in-chief, Jurgitta.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Fine.
Excellent.
Why are you asking?
Well, because you asked me.
Is that how it works? Okay.
And that is absolutely how it works anyway.
Okay. First topic of the day, background checks and the leaks. So the crux of the story is as follows. Nearly 1/3 of the population of the United States, which is in total 330 million people, so that's a little bit more than 100 million people,
Thank you.
appears to have had its private information leaked in a security lapse by a large background check company. This is what our researchers have found. Of course, the firm, MC2 Data, left approximately 2.2 terabytes of information easily accessible on the open web without as much as password protection. So, the kind of data included in the breach spans from names and emails, which is pretty lightweight stuff, to more serious and private data like encrypted passwords, partial payment information, property records, and legal records. And of course, as is always in cybersecurity, this kind of leak it could be a goldmine for cyber criminals because it eases access and reduces risks for them, allowing these crooks to misuse these detailed reports more effectively. Do you agree? Do you find it troublesome that such a leak occurred?
Yes, I do find it troublesome.
Yes.
Thank you for your opinion.
I agree as well.
I think it is troublesome. But I was confused to begin with, obviously.
Oh,
but,
what else is new?
What else is new? Because all of the personally identifiable information is public anyway. But then I soon learned that when all the personally identifiable information is in one place, that is where the problem lies.
What do you mean it's all public anyways?
It's all public information.
No.
This is it.
Yeah.
My password is public information.
It's not personally identifiable information, but let's say your social security number is, and it's not public.
I was told wrong then.
By whom?
It's not public.
By Aris.
Oh, our chief researcher. Fire him!
Because I said, where did they get all the information from? And he said, it's public information.
I'm confused.
No,
Confusion.
because it's a...
No.
No.
Okay, I was wrong. Sorry.
I don't believe he said that because that's, the treasure trove of your information, which is private.
Yeah, background means it's not above the ground, so to speak. It's background.
Then why, when I went on one of those private records websites that MC2 Data supposedly operate, it says that public records can be found at local, state or federal level when open to the public through the Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah, so
there are
some public records, that's for sure, and it depends from state to state, country from country. You can actually get access, let's say, to the list of the property that someone owns, right?
Yes.
But you can't definitely get that in one place, and some personally identifiable information, meaning that information you can use to identify a person and build a profile on them, it's not public.
Then how did they get it?
Well, they're presumably cooperating with various agencies and institutions that ask for background checks. I mean, they're kind of a company that is hired to do and compile these background checks into profiles of people. And I mean, I presume, again, it's a bit of a combination of both. They do collect information from public records databases and background checks.
That's how they're building their own database.
Yeah.
Which is just, and that's the problem, because yes, there are a lot of information about people that you can collect from online sources, like via either just public databases or in more sensitive cases, like maybe via, let's say, email communication, some legal agreements with institutions and whatnot, if you have the basis for that request. The problem is then all that information is combined and built into fed into such a database that our researchers found. That's when it's becomes troublesome. It's not only your name that can put you in trouble, or only your social security number, but when you combine all that information, they do have a profile on you, and then they can abuse it, exploit it to steal your identity, steal your money, whatnot.
Okay, well, I must have heard wrong.
No, but it's not necessarily entirely wrong, I guess. Like you could say, some information is public, but then if it's organized into a profile, it's pretty sensitive.
Yeah, of course, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, because businesses such as MC2 Data, they have to be really attentive to regulations, which are quite strict, and for a reason. They need to comply with these federal, state, and local regulations in order not to break privacy or whatnot. So, and if they don't, or even if they do, but they a simple human error, which is what it was.
Yeah, which is what this was.
Should not result in a leak this big. It should be fixed immediately, or even noticed, because as far as I'm aware, they haven't really noticed it for quite a while.
They changed. They
did,
right?
but
So
there was a
noticed
period of time when someone could have taken that
and
information.
it happens again, time and time again.
Yeah.
I mean, this is big and huge, but we report massive leaks nearly on a daily basis, right? And this always happens. Like the company, maybe not in this case, but in many cases, right? Those companies only notice that there's a data set open and exposed after our researchers, contact them. And it shouldn't be that way, because those databases, like, we wouldn't find as regular citizens, right? But for hackers, threat actors using automation tools, such a database, it could be discovered in like mere seconds, right? And in some cases, they are like exposed for weeks, if not months, right? And there's like no mechanism, no process in place in some companies, some institutions, just to kind of spot that human error on time. It's kind of normal, that an error happens from time to time, but it's just worrying for how long these databases stay open. And given that you can combine this data set with another leak from 2 weeks ago, again, where there were like over 100 million records leaked about US citizens, then also combine that with the information you can find on those people on social media. Also we saw a lot of like resumes, CVs, work visas being leaked and whatnot, so that's kind of, and then using all that information, being a malicious actor, you can build another huge data set that you can exploit like for years to come. This is scary.
Yeah.
But I wonder, is that 100 million people, the information on whom was leaked, or is it the number of records?
It's people this time.
Okay.
Like a few weeks back when we reported a kind of similar leak, it was records. Now it's people.
But I'm still wondering, in my probably quite immature head, I mean, how many people in America actually deserve a background check, so to speak? I mean, yes, there are agencies and institutions and companies, really huge ones, right, that have loads of people working for them, and loads of positions are quite of a sensitive nature. Let's say you're in the Federal Bureau of Investigation or the Central Intelligence Agency or Walmart or whatnot. I mean, Walmart is not pretty. I guess it's not. No. It's not entirely. You don't need a background check probably to work. But again, if you're like a candidate to a senior position, and they do need to check up on you. I don't know. But I'm just wondering, does it really? Is it really the state of play that we have to check 100 million Americans out of 330 million? It's just a little bit. Maybe it's procedure. I don't know.
Yeah, I think in most places, like, I don't know, for
And
example.
what does it actually entail? Background check. I mean, yes, your name and last name, but then,
Your criminal records, surely, if you have them.
or you don't. You still do a background check,
Yeah.
and then you find out. Yeah, of course. But
It
then
depends. I guess they have like different contractors and different government agencies and companies reaching out to them and probably asking for their different things. Because in one case, you would care whether your candidate to a certain position has a like criminal record. In other cases, maybe you would look for, I don't know, conflicts of interest and therefore like property records, something else. That could be very very different things. It could be something very minor and something very extensive. So I'm not sure, but what I was thinking that soon I think we will start doing background checks on everyone just to see whether they are real people, because
Yeah.
you saw like how many companies are being fooled because they like hire a deep fake, or North Korean
Yeah.
IT worker using some online persona just to get a job, right, and then funnel the US dollar to the regime and whatnot. So soon, I guess, we'll need more of those services just to see, like, is this person real? Have you seen them? Can you do a little background check? Does he actually live there?
And do you think security around that, like, say this happens and more background checks need to happen, do you think security will get better in that regard, or do you think it will stay the same?
It is getting better. Well, as Sam Altman said, we just need to fix things, and that's it. They will be fixed.
Simples.
yeah, but at the same time,
Simples.
thanks to leaks as this one, let's say a North Korean threat actor will exploit the leak as well to maybe change a certain amount of information within that database or whatnot. And this is 100 million people we're talking about, real or not. But if they kind of edit the information there and then someone tries to check that deepfake, screen him or her, and then it turns out, according to the database, which has been probably manipulated by the North Korean actor, that yes, this person is real, when actually he or she
That's
is not.
elaborate plan
Ruse,
here.
yes.
Yes. Hire me and find out more.
But the problem is that, whenever we report such a data leak or just a breach, usually there's no, information or no proof that that data has been, exploited in any way. And the problem is that, all those scams and, identity thefts and whatnot, they might come only like a year after or 2 years after. So hackers collect all kinds of information that they might use in the future, sit on that, and then unleash those attacks. Yes, and then everyone suddenly so worried, why am all of a sudden getting these like spam calls from Cyprus that I just got. Not it has something to do with some random leak, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, whatnot. So just the fact that we and the company doesn't have any proof that, no one stole it, there's no proof that it's been exploited, doesn't mean that it is that way. It's just what we know so far.
Yeah, they also haven't released a statement about it, have they?
No.
The MC2 data.
They don't even have a website, so what do you expect?
They don't even have a website.
They don't need one, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Sam Altman, the chief executive of OpenAI.
Woohoo!
A still non-profit startup, but soon it's to be changed, I think. Anyways, he, as I call him, is the tech world's Oppenheimer-in-chief.
I call him Elon Musk wannabe, talking about space and all these visions all of a sudden.
Well, can you tell us more about what he said? Because it's not the first time he's been saying such stuff. What is the stuff?
Yeah, esoterics, middle-aged witchcraft. That's what I think. Anyway, he released.
Okay, go on.
yeah, I will get into why I think that's esoterics anyways a bit later, but first a little background on what happened. Nothing happened here. Maybe he's trying to be an influencer or whatnot, released a blog post, all, as Gintaras would say, hogwash, and, nothing of essence there. What he said is that superintelligence is almost here. He speculates that might be a few thousand days away, so that would be just like 3 years or so.
6 years.
Few.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
A few years away.
It's pretty
It
close
doesn't matter.
anyway.
You embarrassed me now.
It's the near future.
Near future, but it's almost here. He wants to use it for everything. He imagines the AI boosted future, right? Like healthcare, AI tutor for kids and whatnot. And he says like every essentially talk about current problems is mostly like a distraction from this big future that he envisions, and maybe he could let us in on that, right? Essentially, super intelligence, it means that we will have supposedly AI models, chatbots, robots, whatnot, that are either matching or exceeding human intelligence.
Take me away.
Take me away. But some of the, things that Altman will fix.
I like your face when you're saying this.
I don't know, this kind of, because, I have some background. I just read the new Associated Press style guide on how to write and talk to people about artificial intelligence, and it's completely the opposite of what makes sense, when it comes to Altman. Yeah, so he will fix the climate. He doesn't go into any details. He'll just fix it, whatever that means.
A space colony.
He'll establish a space colony. That's why, immediately my thoughts went
Musk,
to Elon Musk. But, he actually sent the Tesla flying into space. He
Has some
needed
examples.
no AI, no AI for that, and discover all physics.
All physics. That's
What
amazing.
does that
That's amazing.
mean?
I am so excited about that because I'm really interested in physics, and we've known Newton physics, then the Einstein came on board, quantum physics, whatnot, and now we are like just starting to figure out like human brain, more processes, what's going on, also physics, what happens like in the outer space, and what there's so many things that we don't know, and Altman will figure it out soon, in just a few thousand days.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, what he says that everyone will be able to use AI. So for that, we need abundant energy. So that's gonna fix the climate. Will that?
Yeah.
How does
it's
that?
counterintuitive, really, isn't it?
How fixing the climate and then producing as much energy as we can? How?
And by the way, speaking of energy, when he says that, obviously in that blog post of his, he's trying to steer the conversation towards, in order to build this prosperity for all and solving all physics and whatnot, we need more infrastructure because, yes, it demands energy. But guess who or what would pay for that infrastructure? Not Sam Altman, obviously. He would get subsidies or try to get subsidies from the government, which cost money, and the taxpayers suffer because not every one of us here want to solve physics. Some of us want to maybe eat, pay for utilities. Or that's actually the majority.
Don't get
that's
distracted. Don't get distracted.
Exactly.
This is exactly what Sam Altman is talking about. Small everyday challenges that that is just a distraction. Think about the future.
He even mentions
discovering all physics.
He mentions nuclear fusion. What the actual F is this guy even talking about? It's not even close to being possible. It's on that Amazon Prime show, Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
But then we've written about nuclear fusion. It's not real. It's not even close to being real. Yes, there's some movements out there in the scientific departments of universities or whatnot, but no. And just to continue my rant a bit, because we're all ranting about Sam Altman, which is, by the way, quite timely because never mind the blog post, he is living through some changes in OpenAI. His chief technology officer, Mira Murati, just left the company, as well as two other chief executives.
Bob McCree,
Yeah,
Barrett.
Yeah,
something.
and then the non-profit is probably going to turn into a for-profit corporation, a classic tech corporation, making money, and it probably
Which I
the
don't necessarily
expectation
blame
is
him
to.
for.
Well, yeah, he's smart. He's a fox. He's a foxy.
He's a Stanford University dropout
So
who
what?
created a company that's gotten big, and now he probably wants to make money of it. Even though he said, and I quote, "I'm not in it for the money. It's so deeply unimaginable to people to say I don't really need more money."
Why does he change the status of the company then? Why does he initiate the change from non-profit to for-profit?
Let me clarify. This was before the shift came.
Yeah, and that was before the non-profit board members tried to oust him, precisely because of the complex, discussions about the mission of the company. Because clearly Sam Altman's vision was not the same as the guys who have already left the company had in mind. So I don't know. And just to talk more about his ideas in the blog post, I mean, and his promises about ideas, musings, ramblings, I don't know, sci-fi nonsense, hogwash.
Yes, thank you.
Boulder Dash,
sci-fi nonsense.
whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
ideas too big of a
it's
word.
not the first time these tech visionaries, so to speak, talk about how they're going to solve everything in the future. If only you give us a chance, basically. No taxation, more money and subsidies for infrastructure or whatnot, and we're going to solve everything. What it actually means, I think, is they're going to solve stuff for themselves and not for the wider majority of humanity or even American population in this specific case. Because, Mark Zuckerberg, not that long ago, he spoke about how metaverse is going to be the big the big new sort of space colony where we're going to move and work and live and experience joy and sadness in metaverse. Of course, it's an ongoing project. There's a lot of money being invested in it, but does it really solve anything like normal, practically speaking?
Well, no, but I don't think that's what they're set out or they believe they're set out to do.
But they keep talking about it. They just don't bloody hell talking about
at least
solving everything.
Marx, so he with the metaverse and all the horizon stuff, he was specific about what problems that would solve in work environment, and then okay, it makes sense in specific settings that would work. Altman is talking big words, very generic words, not going into any specific. The only problem he mentioned in his blog post that is now distraction, and the harm that AI can do is significant changes in labor market. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
No details, no any more problems, whatnot. Even though we know what are the problems with AI now? AI systems built by humans based on historical data, which means racism and other inequalities, whatnot. They are there. Technology is already being used for surveillance, prediction, analytics, and whatnot. And people fear
which is
this
also
technology.
biased, usually.
Yeah, of course. Of course, especially when it comes to people of color, for example, who are not, represented in those databases. Women as well, because they are not in the databases up until recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I just want to. Oh, sorry. I want to get back to that esoteric kind of talk and. Be a bit more serious here. So the Associated Press just released their updates to their style guide, and obviously there's a whole chapter now dedicated to artificial intelligence, another one to deepfakes and whatnot. And this is established media organization that is actually driven by journalistic values and whatnot. So they are not chasing clickbait trends, but rather trying to talk to their readers, viewers, listeners to what is important, and it goes the same it applies to the AI here as well. And what they said is what they see is that there's a lot of esoteric debate around AI, because that's what readers tend to click on, because you can scare them just by
fear-mongering.
like a lot of narrative around whether AI models will reshape or unmake the world, like again these big future envisionings, and they're like scary. And you remember movie Atlas, right, where with J-Lo, where AI takes over the world. So there's a lot of that going on. Meanwhile, we talk here because we are a tech publication, but even journalists who work, with like broader topics, let's say politics or economics, they're not that familiar with like AI terms and risks and the technology behind it. So imagine how people feel and what do they know about AI. In fact, when it comes to like our daily lives, they don't know much. They just see these headlines and they are getting spooked. So instead of engaging in that esoteric debate, we should talk more about how these models work, how they are deployed, who's gonna benefit from that, the important question that we raised today, right? Also, which communities may be negatively affected, right?
Yeah.
Because for some, yes, AI is kind of golden age, that will be so cool, but what about people who are like still starving, even though we kind of solved the problem of food shortages when it comes to like science, right? We know how to make more food. People are starving, so that's not solved. Science didn't solve it, right?
Yeah.
So
let's name names then. It would help the rich, and then it wouldn't help.
So they're not
everyone else.
Visionaries, right? They're
Exactly.
like, yeah.
Exactly. If I may also add something, so these promises of eliminating road deaths, revolutionizing healthcare, AI or not, technology in general, like all these tech visionaries, they keep talking about how we will do this and that. I already said that, of course, but none of the promises really came to fruition. No promises. And of course, throughout the 20th century or 19th century or the first quarter of the 21st century, technology is useful, of course. But then again, we can also debate about that. Do cars in the city centers are they really a good solution for the greenery of the city? Anyways, but actually, while in America specifically, whilst Altman and others are spewing out basically their fantasies of the sci-fi kind, at least some of the things are actually going backwards. In the meanwhile, you can talk about AI and the magic future, infused with AI, all we want. But in the US, for example, the average life expectancy is dropping for a few years now. And a couple of years ago, average life expectancy in the United States went below that of Cuba. And Cuba is a much poorer country living under sanctions for more than 60 years. Mm-hmm. So, there are many reasons, of course, for that. And not all of them are tech related, of course. The opioids, the car crashes, the unaffordable healthcare, of course. And there are initiatives of Amazon, let's say, to inject some kind of money or whatnot into healthcare in America. But there's also this simple fact that poverty and fragile financial foundations of many people in the US and elsewhere in the world are powered by staggering levels of inequality. And you're going to mention that. AI doesn't solve that. It's part of the issue.
No, everyone is
There's
talking,
no AI platform that reduces inequality, and that should be reduced, right? There's no AI platform doing that. And it should do that directly. And it doesn't. It's part of the issue.
Why should it do that?
Why not? Don't promise the golden age of
But I think
world.
the problem with this rhetoric is like it is so definitive in the sense that because you're trying to sell someone on your dream. So you're saying it will be
It's your
this
dream. It's
way.
not the humanity's dream. It's his dream.
Yeah, but who
that's-
says that AI needs to be humanity's dream?
He says, Sam Altman says, that's what, we are arguing with.
Yeah. It's his vision, but I think it's his vision of his playground.
It's a marketing ploy, which
Yeah,
is
of course.
kind of clever, big words, esoteric, scare some people, What people care now these days, apart from Elon Musk, obviously, we see that from Google Trends, whatnot, is affordability. People can't afford houses. The upcoming election, right? That's what voters are asking. The main question, what you gonna do for mortgages to go down, or for us to be able to afford kids even?
Yeah,
exactly.
Really, well, matters that are distractions, all but distractions. So how can you propose a solution for humanity, and a very generic one, which is AI, when you don't really see the current problem? So if you are creating this marketing ploy, so then do it better then.
Yeah,
Do it better.
because he can talk all he wants about this sci-fi fantasies of his, but when he doesn't offer any actual policies that would have to be implemented. So, I mean, I seriously then think that to him, it's more important to be allowed to keep this AI-powered playground and the wealth within it to himself and not to humanity. What could happen is that he could say, well, you should really increase taxes on us, and then maybe you will have money for universal healthcare,
Social
universal
housing and stuff
childcare,
like
if you really care about humanity. You do that. You voluntarily say that, yeah, we should pay more taxes and get less subsidies so that there was money left for real problems.
But is it
out there.
naive to believe that people actually do what they say in these positions?
Of course, we're not naive because we're cursing him right now.
But what
But
does
still,
it
I mean,
even
it's not
mean?
honest. It's not honest. It's hypocritical. That's shit.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I'm not refuting that.
Also, the naivety is just a characteristics. Let's say that that's how you can describe a person. And critical thinking is not a muscle that is well developed. Some people. So instead of just trying to think that people won't believe that because they are naive, even if they are, it's good and it's fine, and we need to. And every journalist around the world, as well as nonprofits and whatnot, should educate and talk more about real life problems, so that those naive people would be able to see through those claims. Because what Altman is doing here, classic marketing ploy, trying to make some viral moments, right? Some very colorful quotes, just kind of probably expecting that, that's what the headline's gonna be, create more fuss around the company, hence, the money and the investment in the future and whatnot. That's what he's doing.
So he's not really talking to the people. He's talking to
investors, really.
Investors and business people. He's
And-
talking
and
to his
governments.
people.
Just read his quotes. It's like classic marketing, trying to create some viral momentum here. Otherwise, he would, talk real problems with numbers, solutions, studies. Like, there is money there. They could commission a study with some university to kind of actually, let's come up with a detailed report of what problems we need to solve.
And
what
how
problems
can
could
AI
AI
help
help?
with that? Yeah.
What is the statistical even probability of, affordability crisis being solved by AI? Is that possible? Give data, give numbers.
Yeah. Can AI solve and crunch the numbers of how to grow more food and make people eat better or whatnot? Stuff like that. Stuff that's on the ground. It's not there in the clouds. Jesus Christ! I mean, I can't believe we're even discussing the feasibility of all those statements.
Maybe we should move on. This is now becoming a collective rambling.
Yeah, but just to sum up from my side, I mean, we just shouldn't be so uncritical, I guess, towards, and we're not. But some
I
of
just
them,
think it's classic behavior. This is unsurprising to me.
But it's kind of unnerving to me that it's unsurprising, but we're still, as media representatives, we're not maybe, but we're critical towards statements like this. But the rest, I guess, it laps it up and it just quotes him like ad verbatim, and people keep talking, not people, but in the media, they keep being in awe, whatever.
And
the
amplifying this nonsense rather than questioning it.
Yeah, you question it. You do help them realize the general population. As journalists, we should help the general population realize that AI is maths, it's arithmetics, it's computational mathematics. It's a computer, it's a system, it's a code. It's not a magic mushroom somewhere that kind of brings you into the bright, bloody future of magic.
Yeah,
whatever.
Unfortunately, to agree with you, we are not surprised. But we should still keep talking about it every day, because if you are unsurprised, this means that this
That's a
happens
problem.
all the time, and if it still keeps happening, meaning like there's not enough emphasis on the things that we need to emphasize in this context, rather than talking about Altman and his big claims, we should look into like, okay, so how these systems work. He said that, okay, it's gonna fix climate. How? What? Give me numbers.
Back up your ideas with
it's
some
not only the
examples.
government that we need accountability from. It's also like these guys that are proposing this, and promising this bright future. So how? What you gonna do? Where's the money coming from? How it will affect this and those communities and whatnot?
Yeah,
Vote Harris.
we get a bunch of press releases every day, and some of them come from, let's say, PR people who are representing AI startups, and they're like releasing these products. And I remember when ChatGPT went viral at the end of 2022, you were kind of interested in, okay, so what's new here? I mean, this is product, AI again. And now I don't even open most of them. Some of them seem nice, and then we kind of interact with people over there because they're like really at least offering some solutions and some specific ones to education, healthcare, stuff that really is close to people's hearts. And not this. I mean, this is fucking hell. I mean, solving all physics. What's that?
Yeah, that's
Just
bizarre.
Thank you.
specific.
Leave some physics for future generations, please.
Yeah, that too,
please.
that too. What about Tamagotchis then?
Tamagotchis, yes! This is my
Finally,
time to shine. Okay, so do you guys remember Tamagotchis?
I do, but do you?
Yes, I had Tamagotchis. So they came out in the 1990s, I think the late 90s, 1996.
That's mid-90s.
Yeah, so I was born in 97. And I remember vividly having a little Tamagotchi friend when I was like 6 or 7. And a little egg-shaped house toy thing that had a little creature inside. Did you have one?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
How many times did you kill it?
I think I was pretty good, and I think that's one of the first technologies that I got actually addicted to. Because I had this little dog living there, and I started playing with it when I was at school, I think, and then in between like the lessons we would go and feed it so it wouldn't die and whatnot. I don't remember to what level I managed to get, but I think it grew old, that dog.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, we also had kids playing with Tamagotchis in school, but I didn't have one. No.
Wow.
I was busy releasing the sausages into my mouth on lunch breaks,
Okay.
Yes, I ate food.
Food. Okay, so Tamagotchis I thought were dead. I thought they were dead and gone. I haven't heard of a Tamagotchi for years. But now they're making a comeback. And Bandai Namco, the company behind Tamagotchi, told the BBC that sales of the device actually went up between 2022 to 2023. Confused at what people were doing during those times. I would kind of understand if it was like lockdown times and people wanted a bit of nostalgia.
It was connected to the lockdown as well, yeah.
Must have been.
And, younger generation rediscovering analog tech.
But it's no longer
not entirely
analog.
analog, yeah.
It's no longer because you can still buy the classic Tamagotchi little eggs with a 32 by 16 pixel screen, black and white, 3 buttons for doing all your little tasks that you need to do. But now you can connect with friends via the internet.
Oh, no.
Yes. No. Ruins everything, I think. I don't know why. Like, it makes sense because, if you're not connected to the internet, then what are you doing? But
it's mostly for updates, though, for different items.
For downloading items, but also connecting with your friends. So it must be.
I'm not sure how that connection... Do you compare rankings or whatnot? Is there enough space?
Maybe there's enough space to like both have your little pets in there, or you can go on a little trip to your little pets.
I'm not sure.
Well, it's a small device.
It's tiny.
In the UK, it sells for from £30 to £90.
Extortionate.
If I were to get a Tamagotchi, I would get an old school one.
Yeah, same. Not connected to the internet. No way.
10 dots or something.
But yeah, very nostalgic for me. I enjoy Tamagotchi. And I learnt a bit about the Tamagotchi lore. And they're not actually pets.
Nice.
They're aliens.
Okay.
Well, go
Please
on.
expand.
Okay,
Have you talked to Sam Altman about this?
No.
I see you are so excited. But,
I love a Tamagotchi. So on Tamagotchi Wiki, because there's a whole Tamagotchi planet dedicated to people who love Tamagotchi lore. One day, Banzo, who is a character who's like a crazy doctor kind of person, was skulking on a bridge over Sumida River. After suffering a broken heart, bless him, this is the story, another character attempted to cheer him up, and then a UFO came crashing down. And he realized that a creature was inside, but the creature was not compatible with Earth, so he had to build a tiny little egg house to fit comfortably on Earth.
Oh my God, this is true.
So do you think that's why they're making a comeback, because they're aliens, or what?
No,
Mate.
but this is true then,
This must be real life.
because we know there are aliens surveilling,
And we
the
put,
Earth.
we put them in a little egg-shaped house, and then
Oh no! So how many did I kill? Should I have killed them? Oh.
There's already a term, by the way, coined by researchers back in the early 2000s, I think, called the Tamagotchi effect. I was started thinking about this because of my thoughts initially about the Tamagotchi, that it still induces addictiveness.
yes,
And with Wi-Fi and the internet connection, it increases it even more,
Yeah.
I would say, because you're connected, and then you kind of compare each other to your friends and your pets and whatnot, and you spend more time because you want to be better than your friend, blah, 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 and all that. I mean, yes, there's probably pros and benefits to this kind of gadget. There's a couple of ideas online that say that if you don't have kids, then you might try a Tamagotchi, and then and that's how you substitute having real kids. I'm not sure, but
I can't keep a plant alive. So let alone
anyways,
a
but the Tamagotchi effect is the development of emotional attachment with machines, robots, or software agents. Like I said, with the Wi-Fi now and everything, I mean, it's like this kind of a virtual cocaine for the kids, and not only for the kids, of course. But I also had this idea. And it's not my idea. There's this phenomenon lately observed over the last, 5 years, I guess, or something. It's a blend between new and nostalgia. It's nostalgia, because these devices look retro,
name.
but they're enabled with all these modern features like Bluetooth connectivity, stuff that.
like what the rabbit was trying to be,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
like looking like
Many-
a nostalgic device.
very
Old
many device.
Nokia's revived also.
like Motorola razors and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
coming
like
out.
Dumb phones.
It's like the new cool of these days. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because the appeal of so many of these devices is quite cool. That's why they got popular in the first place in the 80s and 90s, of course, because they had the appeal. They were comfortable to hold, look at, whatnot, use. But now, of course, if you're a member of a younger generation or whatnot, you want these new features as well. You want to be able to maybe browse the internet on your Nokia-looking retro kind of phone, but you want to be able to enter into social media, log in.
I feel like it defeats the purpose.
Here, I think what's going on.
Okay.
We had different devices for different functions. You would have a camera, right? An iPod for your music, and so many different gadgets. And then Apple came, and there were smartphone producers, and now you can essentially have it all on your phone, right? So if you are not upgrading your phone every year or two, what are they gonna sell you? Those tech companies, right? And I think that's how all this, sort of nostalgia came to be. It started with marketing, right? So product teams, marketing teams, kind of trying to figure out, how to. What new product to sell. We see a lot of this sort of innovation in the beauty and cosmetics, right? Whether it's suddenly discover 20 or 30-year-old secrets. And I think here that's what's happening. Like with the newest Nokia dumb phone, which is exactly like the Nokia they had before, only more some more functions, a little bit different shade of pink and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there are already devices for that. Now they released a device that is new, but actually the same. There's no new function, no innovation here. Just new sales attempt. So that's how I see Tamagotchis as well. I mean, there are a lot of Tamagotchis in the market, and they are still being produced like the old ones, what you don't have any connection, and then don't cost like what, £30.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It doesn't make sense
No, and you
from the
said
point
30
of
to 90.
user.
Yeah,
crazy.
the 90 ones are the newer versions, I guess.
That's wild. 90.
How much did it cost in the 90s? Okay, yeah, inflation, but still.
I don't know, probably like £15 for me.
Oh, it's so expensive. I bought it for like 6 liters. That would be
£1.5.
Whoa!
£1.5. Of course, like the
What
minimum
a steal!
minimum wage, let's say at that point would be what, like 100 euros or more. So comparison, you would pay, well, it would cost like % of your minimal salary or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's
it was expensive. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But almost double, if not.
But £90.
£90, no. I want a Tamagotchi now that they've come back because I'm a sheep.
But why? I just explained to you what is happening here.
yeah, but I still want one.
Buy an old one.
yeah.
I'll
Get it
tell-
off eBay or Vinted or something.
I'll tell you what I would want. I will after this, I will go to my laptop and search for an app that would make my laptop look like it's running on an old Windows system.
Why?
Because I used to love it, and I am really confused most of the days when I look at my laptop. So, yeah.
I'm really confused most days.
Yeah,
full
but
stop.
you see, that's like a no cost. You can indulge in your nostalgia, like really low cost. No need to buy something for £90.
Yeah.
Rip off. But maybe I'll try one out, see what it does.
No, don't. I won't respect you anymore.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Right, that's it. That's
it's
it.
a joke I never did.
Okay, guys, that's it for today, I think, yeah. This was Niv Ansel, Jurgita Lepinite, and me, Gintaras Radauskas. Thank you for listening or watching this, and see you and hear you all next week. Bye-bye.